Hello, my dear students. I hope you are doing well. So, today we are going to perform all the activities and question answers from chapter 2 Microorganism, Friends and Foe, class 8 Science. So, after all this explanation, I hope this chapter is much more clear to you. It will get with the better understanding while performing the following activities. Let's see them. Students, here you can see the activity 1. That is, let's see how that works. Now take some soil in your glass container, fill it with the tap water, keep it exposed to the sunlight. After a few days, you will see the growth of green layer on the surface of container. Observe it using magnifying glass. Now, what do you see this? And name the microorganism. Now, I really wish that you perform all these activities and get back to me with the result. But I'll give you some hint and ideas about this activity. Now, you know that something which is in green color, it is because of the presence of chlorophyll, and only one organism or one microorganism possesses the green color, which is algae. So, it could be algae or something else. Let's check it out. Even it could be fungus. You remember we have discussed bread molds and bread fungus. They were green patches or grey patches. So, while doing this activity, you might observe either a fungus or some patch of algae. Now, let's take an activity 2. So, here what we are supposed to do is take half kg of flour, atta or any sort of maida, take some sugar and mix with the warm water. So, when you'll add sugar to the warm water, it starts dissolving in it. Add a small amount of yeast powder to this atta and knead to make a soft dough. Now, here you remember what we have done here? We have added yeast to the warm water and then we have kneaded to make a soft dough. Now, when you add yeast, that is a microorganism, to the warm water, it starts activating and it starts multiplying. And as you remember, while respiration, this yeast will produce carbon dioxide. So, let's see how it is going to help us for producing our bread or the idli or some important bakery or food items. Now, first question here comes is, what do you observe after 2 hours? Now, when you actually perform this activity, you will observe that your dough has risen up. That means it has turned quite soft, fluffy and enlarged. Did you find dough rising? Yes, we do find dough rising. Now, you will write the reason behind it, which I have explained to you just now. The activity 3 states, now take 500 ml beaker, fill it to 3/4 with the water. Now dissolve 2 to 3 spoon of sugar in it. Add half of spoon of yeast powder to the sugar solution. Now you remember why we are adding yeast to the sugar solution, because here yeast will use sugar as a food and it starts multiplying and respiring in the solution. Keep it covered in the warm place for 4 to 5 hours. Now here warm place, that means that is the ideal temperature for yeast to multiply and respire. Now smell the solution. Could you get some smell? What type of smell it is? Yes, we will find some smell because this yeast has converted this sugar solution into a sort of alcohol. In short, I can say that here yeast is performing a fermentation. So, the sweet smell of sugar might convert into the sour smell of alcohol. Activity 4. Take 2 pots and fill each pot half with the soil. Mark them A and B. Put plant waste in a pot A and things like polythene bags, empty glass bottles and broken plastic toys in pot B. Put the pot aside, observe them after 3 to 4 weeks or 1 month. Did you find any difference in the content of 2 pots? If so, what is the difference? Yes, this is very important activity. You know, in pot A, you have kept the things like polythene bags and empty glass bottles and broken plastic toys in pot B. So you might see the difference of degradation by the decomposer in the both pots. So one with the organic matter will decompose faster with the help of microorganism, but the one which contain the plastics will not show any degradation, so that items will be as it is. Hots. Now hots are certain questions. Now this question you can refer for your further understanding and more enhancing of your knowledge, and even they could be asked in your examination. Now what do you think? Curd sets faster in the summer than in the winters, because as you know that curd is set with the help of lactobacillus bacteria. They work better with the warm temperature. Curd turns sour faster in the summer than the winter. Yes, because when you keep your curd out in the summer, the number of bacteria might multiply, and so more number of bacteria will turn your curd sour in taste. And in winters, their growth is quite slow. So for summers, your curd can make faster. Also, it can turn sour even faster than winters. Now, these are the chain of questions that are discussed here. Second question is, the sealed packet in which food items such as chips are sold are usually filled with the nitrogen. How do you think that helps? Now, nitrogen here act as a food preservative. So, when you flush the nitrogen in the chips bags or in the container, that will not allow any food contamination, so they can be preserved for the longer period of time. Why should you always wash your hands before handling food and after going to the toilet? Because when you go to toilet, because when you enter toilet or when you use your washroom, you might be contaminated with the microorganism. So before eating or touching the food, we should make sure that our hands are clean and no microorganisms are there, so we should disinfect them. Now other kind of questions are discussed here. Question 4, question 5, question 6, question 7, question 8. You try to answer them by your own understanding and you can revert on them with the queries to me. Now answer the following questions. These are the extra question answers apart from NCERT folder. I am sure you must be able to give the answers for the same. I'll just give you a hint about each and every question. Now antibiotics are not used in the treatment of viral infection, because antibiotics are only effective when the disease caused by the bacteria. So the viral infections might not be, in those conditions antibiotics might not be useful. Milk is stored in the refrigerator during summers, as we just discussed that the number of lactobacillus bacteria multiply when the warmth is provided. So just to make sure that our curd is not turning sour, we should keep our prepared curd in the fridge. Are all microorganisms harmful? No, we have discussed in our PPT presentation number 2, part 2, that we have discussed many usefulness of microorganism as they are prepared. They are used in preparation of alcohol, wine, in preparation of vaccines. They are prepared to clean environment, and they also enrich the soil fertility. Algae are plant-like which protozoas are animal-like microorganism. Yes, because algae contain chlorophyll, so they may act as a plant. And protozoa, they are unicellular just as the animal are multicellular. So we can compare protozoa with the animal-like microorganism. Yeast is used in the bakeries and the breweries. Yes, we just discussed that when yeast is added with the sugar solution, it starts activation and it will start multiplying and respiring, producing carbon dioxide gas, which will make dough or bakery items more soft, fluffy, so we can enjoy our cakes and pastries. Differentiate between the communicable disease and the non-communicable disease. You can refer to slide 3 or my part 3 for this, in which I have already discussed about the communicable diseases. Let me give you one hint. Communicable diseases can be spread with the contact or by just coming in touch or contact with the infected person, while non-communicable diseases cannot spread with in the touch. It can cause with some other agent. You can look for the other points for this difference by your own self. Now, short answer type of questions, they are first question is, how are virus different from the other microbes? So, we have discussed in our slide 1 that virus are sometimes non-living, sometimes living, and they need host to get multiply and to get activated. Mention the role of nitrogen fixing bacteria in soil. For that, you should refer to part 4 slide. In that, I have discussed how the rhizobium bacteria or blue-green algae is used for fixing atmospheric nitrogen. How do microorganisms help in cleaning environment? For this, you should refer to part 2 slide, in which I have shown to you that how these microorganisms are cleaning the dump and the waste materials or fecal excreta or animal excreta and converting them into less harmful substances. And even during biogas production or the compost production, we are using number of microorganisms to convert this all waste into the useful items. What are the antibiotics? We have discussed what are the antibiotics. They are actually the weakened form of bacteria. They might not allow or weakened forms of molds. They might not allow certain bacteria to grow, and the most common antibiotic uses penicillin. So, you can discuss here the structure and the invention of penicillin. Now, long question answers, this you can discuss with your friends also. You can also get the answers with all the presentations given to you, and also you can refer to the NCERT folder and you can refer to the textual content. Now, complete the table. This is the homework for you. That is the name of diseases given to you. You should write the name of disease with the causative agent, symptoms and preventions. So, you can refer my part 3 presentation for the further answers. You have to write for malaria, amoebic dysentery, measles, tuberculosis and hepatitis B. Now, some diseases are quite new in this. So, you can also research or you can also find them on Google Chrome. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed this slides, all the parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Part 4, I have brought certain activities to make sure that you understand more about the microorganisms, their usefulness, what kind of questions could be asked, how to feel microorganisms which are there in your surroundings. So, this way this chapter was quite lengthy, but again it is so important to understand, and this way we can prevent ourselves for getting infected with so many diseases which are caused with the bacteria, microorganism and even viruses and some algae based diseases. And also at the same time we know the importance of all this microorganism and their subcategories. I hope you have enjoyed all these slides, all this presentation. With any kind of query, you can write it back to me and we will discuss on your query further. See you for the next chapter. Hope you enjoy. Bye.